Yeah. We on it. We on it. We on another one. Hopefully, I'm coming through loud and clear. Welcome to this night's presentation on your Manic Monday, Bombay's Boring Banter and B-Sides. Just what it is, part of the Boring Brothers Network, coming live and direct to you for those who are tired of the regular bullshit and you want an alternative to your sector listening choices and you wish to be lulled to sleep by the melodious tones of my voice. And that's what us Boring Brothers are here to do, to bring it to you live and direct. So, with no further ado, let me adjust my tickers here and get some things going. Okay, so let's see. How about a little bit of mood music? I'm not a real big fan of that. You know what? We don't need no music, man. I'm just trying to pull this thing up on my celly so I can monitor, because I can see the monitor, but I don't want to look at that. So anyway, check it out. Again, we trying to bring y'all some alternative listening. Some of it will be the same. Some of it not, Anyway, it's all good. So here we are with another live presentation. Not really worried about who's on the air. Not really caring about who else might, all this stuff, who's live, who's not. See, the thing is rare that I come on. So I come on to give you the alternative. As you say, a different voice, a different perspective. All opinions are valid nonetheless. But here we are. So there are approximately 844,771,392 YouTube channels, so we can't worry about who's on the airwave and reduce ourselves down to a scintilla of dimension called the sector, worrying about who's broadcasting. Anyway, enough of that. So, man, straight up, I offer no apology for who I am, how I feel, or my words, which are rooted in my truth, right? Might not line up with yours, but it happens to be mine. And so does this microphone, and so does the channel, and so does the subscription, and so does the broadcasting tools, and all this hardware, the preamp, the wiring, and everything else. But I digress. So anyway, man, BlackTube, as I like to call it, is struggling for quality content. So I implore you all, please go live. Please upload something. Please, 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 please do it. Get something going. Go on the mic. Let's talk. Now, speaking of that, new channels, because we always got these. I'm going to start going live. I'm going to do a new channel. Well, if you're going to go live and talk about the same old bullshit everybody else is doing, then save yourself the trouble. Lord knows we don't need another duplicate channel with the same stuff. Then you got to go on, you don't know what to say, and you want to talk about these same four characters that everybody else talks about constantly, day in and day out, 7 to 8 hour lives with it. Yo, please come with a new and fresh perspective of things, because see, then when that runs out, you got to do this. We're going to talk about that. You got to come on and name drop. Nobody's paying you attention. These individuals not really giving a damn about what you're doing. So you say their name in a live presentation, or you go to some random panel with your old ass and drop a name so somebody can respond, and that generates not only clout for you, but a narrative and a back and forth, which gives you content because you have no original ideas, no original thoughts, no original Nathan. Okay, it's all good. Oh, he sounds arrogant. He's putting people down. It's judgmental. It's this. What's the first thing I said? I said I offer no apology. My words is my words. The same way your words are your words. And people, please, if you do start your channel, be aware of that, because you're going to have the naysayers and the haters come out of left field trying to make ridiculous claims about, you think you better than people, you're putting people down, you're being judgmental, you need to be a part of the solution, not the problem. They're going to tell you all that bullshit, but look at them. They ain't doing nothing close to any of that they're telling you to do. They're in no position to tell you what to do. Me, did I just tell you what to do? No, I said, try to be different. That's all. I didn't judge you after you started your shit. I just said before you go on, okay? Try to be a little different than the last man. Now, we're going to be cruising at a height of about 12,000 feet, or 12 members, as I like to call it, the Ocean 12. Because see, these boring channels, they don't get a lot of play. You understand? They don't, because we're not on here talking about the same four people who you will not hear about tonight. You will not hear about somebody on the West Coast. You won't hear about nobody from the Midwest. The individual down south that y'all all seem to be looking for and got all these conspiracy theories about why he's not on. We're not going to do none of that. Why? Because it's been done and beat to death. But I do understand. You got to give the people what they want because your rent is due. I mean, your Section 8 is due. So you got to give the people what they want. You got to go on 7 and 8 hours with the same bullshit in the same panel. Welcome, Josephine. Josephine had an interesting show the other day. Did you catch it on the channel? Any of you happen to tune into that? A lot of the ladies got together. We need to get more of that. The ladies need to come together. We got to get that Women's Protection Network back up and running. We need to get that rejuvenated because the sisters need protection out here. Because you men ain't doing it. You know, you say that you are, and you're talking your little soft tones, but man, you be cussing out the broads every 5 seconds. You just on their case. But anyway, so we're not going to be talking about the original players, the usual suspects this evening. Now, if I happen to drop the link and you come up here, you just have to talk about it, then by all means, do what you got to do. You know what I mean? Do what you got to do. But we will not be initiating that from this side. Oh, Josephine said it was boring. Oh, so you're also part of the Boring Network. Okay, cool. Josephine is also on the Boring Network. If you find that you have suffered from insomnia, anxiety, or postpartum, just tune into her channel. She'll put you right to sleep just like I'm going to do tonight. That's what we're here for. You got Chat Lives Matter. You got a brother of another color. You got the brother. Gonna put a bearded brother. We here to put you to sleep. Because we're not talking about the same old. You understand? And we do have some intelligence. But by all means, get your cash. You know, if you got to go on your channel, the people want to hear it. Hell, if they want to sit there for 6 hours and pay you hundreds of dollars for going at their ops or dropping their names of people you don't like and it's worth your hard-earned money, then I'm not going to tell you not to spend it. Because Lord knows we like handing out our money for dumb shit every day of the week. I've seen some transactions you wouldn't believe. And let me tell you something. Now, I'm not broke per se. I'm like the rest of you. I'm struggling against inflation. But I ain't got no hundreds of dollars to be throwing in the trash up on here because I don't like you and I got to get you off the panel or I got to bet you or make a bet or I got to whatever the reason. You know what I mean? That money hard to come by, you know? But anyway, just try to be different, y'all. Just try to be different when you go. I know you want to get your channel. You want to get your little graphics and stuff, get all fancy and everything. And you want to come out and then it's like, boom, the same people on the panel with the same narrative. Oh, my God. Yo, let me tell you something. These old ass narratives, Jesus, Lord. Yo, I would rather Chubby Checker break 10 Coke bottles, right? And then take the glass and crush it up, dump it in my eyes, and then do the twist for like 30 minutes in my eye sockets, rather than hear another old ass, oh my God, tired ass narrative. Oh, well, you should be the difference in the sector. You shouldn't. Yo, am I not telling you? I do have eyes. I can hear. You're going to get some observations. Welcome, Miss T. Pre. Miss T. Pring stopped through. Now, T. Pre, you ain't just stopping through to say hi, and then you do a thing when you go to another channel, and then, you be gone. Y'all ever do that? Y'all ever go to somebody live and you say hi, and that shit be like complete trash, but then you feel like you have some undying sense of loyalty, like, damn, I gotta stay here. They saw me come in. If I disappear, the number gonna go in there, they gonna know I'm gone. Anyway, am I the only one to do that? So anyway, check it out. So yeah, anyway, you could pop in, y'all could pop in. If you got something to do, you got something to do. You know what I mean? So anyway, right? Yeah, come on, get your graphics, all that stuff, man. Y'all know what I said. I gave one of the commandments. I gave you some leeway. I said if it's older than 90 days, can we please let it go? Oh my God. The victimization is going into 5-6 years. We going into pre-pandemic narratives out here. I say, hey, slim it down. 30 days on the narrative. See, here's the problem. And this is what I find frustrating. It's the same people with the same narratives, the same players on the same panel. You are not saying anything different from what you said last week on the panel, sir. If you happen to be one of those panel pirates, you just like to hang out. You're not saying anything different. You're saying the same thing. Them over there, they do this, and they want you to believe that, and they want you, and they attack my kids, and they this, whatever. It's the same stuff. We're not going anywhere. And see, the thing is, it takes away from the creativity. So then it leaves us barren because we don't have anything to focus on. I try to do uploads. Anybody can do uploads, y'all. You could talk in your iPhone. Man, you on the bus stop. Just tell us what you see. It's an upload. Anything. Give us something to chew on. You know what I mean? We got to save BlackTube. We got to bring BlackTube back. Welcome, Unadulterated Truth. What's up? What that 60 like? That's my homeboy from the West Side. So anyway, let me get off of that because I'm starting to sound preachy. So everybody, and I'm going to get back around to that. Matter of fact, I'm going to save that for further down. We're going to talk about the YouTube stuff. Men. You don't need material gains to validate yourself. Man, money and materials, they fade over time. Seriously though, man, all I hear, y'all knew y'all was gonna hear it tonight. I've been holding this for months. All I see is so-called men talking about the money they got, the materials they have, material objects, and calling everybody else is broke, and you got everything is a bag. You not getting a bag. You ain't got no members. You ain't getting a bag. The bag. What the hell? See, let me tell y'all something. I'm gonna tell y'all a secret. That's the symbol. That's broke language right there. That's broke talk. That's a man's insecurity that you gotta stand on materials. Look, at this age, 40s, 50s, 60s, at this point, have you not figured out? Look back at your life and realize that all the materials you had are gone, most of them. They faded, they've gotten old, they lack luster, the car went out of style, the clothes went out of style. Nothing persists. That's the law of impermanence. Nothing lasts. And at this point, you should be realizing that, what is all the fanfare? What is all the material for? Who am I at this age trying to prove a point to? See, this is what I see. I'm going to tell you something. I listen on here. I'm going to tell you, some people don't like me. And do you know why they don't like me? They don't like me because I can hear and I have clear vision and I see things and I say it. Like what I'm about to say to you now, sirs. It's a weakness. All the material you flaunt and throwing around these ideas and these concepts and all this stuff about money. Do you know I deal with wealthy people I'm talking about wealthy people every day at my place of employment. They don't sound like that. Matter of fact, I find people with smaller amounts of money are harder to deal with. I don't know why. Because people who have money, it's something about, how can I explain it? It's something about when they have the material wealth, they're trained at a young age of how to deal with it, and they make more money, and they're not attached to the wealth. I can't explain it. You would think that somebody with millions of dollars would be like gung-ho attached to it, but they're not. And the reason they're not is because they understand that money is making money while they sleep, the way it's invested, the way that the sources of it, they're not as thirsty. Only broke, struggling, starving people worry about money that much. Now, don't get me wrong. They care about their portfolios. They will review things. They'll make changes according, A lot of you come on here with that. You like to talk that big Willie stuff, investments and all that. Man, I think I talked to y'all about that before. And I'm gonna give you the quick synopsis of it. Because I know I'm beating the drum. Hey, look, before you take your black ass to a stock market, excuse me, before you go to anybody's stock market, number one, what is your income? Right? You got to have income. You got to pay your regular bills. You got to have a fully funded savings account, 3 to 6 months of basic household expenses. And you need to be funding your retirement. That means if I ask you what is your retirement goal, you should be able to tell me, or at least show me what you got going. You might not be reaching your goal. You might fell short. You had some medical stuff happen when you were 39. You had to dip in and stuff. Life took place. But those things should be in place, okay? You got to have the income because you got to pay your bills. Without that, what are you going to do? You're going to start dipping into savings and doing things. The emergency savings is there. It's not for that Jamaican trip because you trying to impress them girls at the salon acting like you Big Wilma and you trying to get your black ass on that plane using your savings, or like a lot of you like to do with credit cards, and I'll pay it later when I get my tax return. Let me tell you something. That violates the principle of, there's a strong ancient Chinese financial principle called don't count your chickens before they hatch. So understand this, if you using the credit card to charge your vacation for something you know you ain't got the money to do, then understand you're paying interest payments. So you're paying money to use other people's money to go on a trip to impress people you probably don't even like. You understand? So that's not the way to do it. That's a bad financial principle. You're lying about your money. What I say, or Susie Orman says, lies about your money will repel it from you. Truths about your money will attract it to you. So therefore, you should not be spending money you don't have on a credit card. A credit card is not for that purpose. I remember when I was little, I used to think rich people had credit cards and it was the big thing. You could just charge stuff and yada, yada, yada. Let me tell you, that credit card is not, that credit card, it should exist in a 30-day cycle. If you charge something on the 8th, that credit card should be paid off by the 31st, period. So if you can't pay Jamaica off by the 31st, don't swipe it, okay? So I'm just telling you. Now, if you got all these things in place, then, and your retirement is full, I didn't mean to talk about this, y'all. Your retirement is fully funded, right? Then if you're going to go dipping and dabbing in the stock market, buying individual stocks, which, by the way, is highly risky, okay, I'm not gonna get into that because this ain't a financial thing. I'm segueing. You should not be gambling, and that's what I'm gonna call it, more than 5% of your total portfolio in the stock market. I.e., if you have $100,000 in retirement savings, you should not be playing with more than $5,000 of that. That's the rule. That's what I'm gonna tell y'all. Okay, because you're gonna lose your money. Now you hear all these people with all this trades and this day trading and all this Big Willie Robin Hood, and they throwing out all these fancy words. Let me tell you something. I will take 10 of those so-called people, right, that use speculative investment strategies, buying and selling stocks and flipping and buying this. You know what? I will let them churn that strategy for 5 years, and I guarantee you they can't outperform the S&P 500. After all that talk and that flipping and flippity, yo, trust me, they can't do it. They can't. Okay, you can get lucky. Understand when you buy a stock, if you making money, it's stocks is winners and losers. There's always going to be a winner. There's always going to be a loser. But you got to get the basics down. Get your life financial. Anyway, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to go into that. Damn, I'm really getting boring. But no, seriously though, seriously, all of that stuff, everybody, because every time you tell somebody you do investments or finance, they the first thing they always ask you is, yo, what stocks is good? None. Your light bill is good. Your kids' tuition is good. Nah, we not jumping into that. And like I tell you, never mind. So anyway, he said, who buying Bitcoin with a credit card? Oh, yo, stop the malarkey. Just send your retirement money to Photon and Broton. Bruh, let me tell y'all something. That takes me back to point one. If I'm out here flashing, if I pull up an investment portfolio I have right now on screen, slap me. If I pull up a bank account, slap me. If I do, see, the thing is, y'all got to understand the hustle when you hear it. You know, the hustler always is going to tell you how successful they are, how big pimpin', big willie they are. You ain't going to see it. You know, you ain't going. I could pull a screen up right now. I could show you some money on a screen. That don't mean, that has nothing to do with my skill or my expertise. Let me tell you something. In first quarter, when that man came in here and was turning them tariffs on and off every 5 minutes, I was getting my ass whooped at the job. how could you prepare for that? Like, I didn't know from one day to the next. Only him and his people knew what he was going to say and what it was going to do to the markets. Yo, what do you do in a situation like that? Well, as a fund analyst, well, I can't really explain. There's things that can be done, but man, it was not easy. It was not easy. But anyway, yo, yeah, you got to watch for the snake oil out here. You got to watch for that, man. If I pull up in the Benz, that don't mean I'm successful. Okay, I'm just telling y'all. Just get the basics down. Anyway, money and material. I was talking about something else. Money and materials, man. All at this age, really. Are we still, as men, are we still leading off with that? I'm this. I got this money. If you at this point still talking about the money you got, like that's some mark of success in this life, I feel for you. I really do. Because if you know, the wisdom is, man, that money, the materials, they come and go. They come and they go. And ultimately, they do not bring you happiness. Look around. I mean, you can look out your window. Not literally. There's so many depressed millionaires, so many unhappy people. You see them, they're in therapy chairs all the time. But see, when you're poor, and I understand, I'm poor too. Because I say it's two kinds of people, rich people and poor people. You know who you are. So if you ain't rich, you know you the other thing. So you got poor people always, they talk like that, all about money. I got this kind of car, I got this, I got that. Because they don't understand, they've never been on the other side of the money. And when you're on the other side of that money where all of your needs are met and you got more than you can spend, yo, your whole spirituality will shift. Because you start to understand, like, damn, it's not really about acquiring. I now have everything. So I say to you, those of you that always talk about the bag and how much money you making on YouTube, what if you had all the money, more than you could spend right now? I ask you, then what? What would you do? Well, you go to the club, buy bottles, buy out the club, buy out the bar, do that for several nights, sleep with every sexy woman you can get your hands on. Okay, after about 9 months, I guess you're bored with that. Now here come Mr. Cocaine. And you know what happens. You're going to end up in the courtroom with on trial with 1,000 bottles of baby oil. That's what happens to you. You're going to self-destruct because you ain't got a mind for the money. And the more you thirst, it's just going to be worse. They can tell you wasn't born into it. But anyway, moving right along. Yo, at this age, man, it ain't about that. You know what I'm saying? But hey, that's just me. By all means, get your cash app, sell your soul. Say what these people want to hear. Try to be as heinous as possible online. Shock jock. Get your money. Right? So, the old narratives, I'm beating that to a pulp by keep saying it over and over. It is ridiculous at this point, y'all. When you preach about what was done over and over and over, the victimhood continues. I do have a question, though, for the victims. If you ever said this out your mouth, you're a victim. They did this to me. They said this about me first. Well, when I did this, y'all did this to me. Okay, here's the question. How many times are you going to say that, and what do you want out of it? Do you want an apology? No, y'all don't. You don't want an apology. I know you don't, because I apologize, but then it'll still go on. You don't want no apology. You want to continue being the victim. You want to be seen. See, when I look at you, I don't see a victim. I see somebody that needs attention. They got to have the spotlight on them. They got a lot of skill and intelligence, and you could go back to your channel and produce some shit that could really make people laugh or be thought-provoking or funny. But no, it's easier just to get up there and be a victim and allow you to be exploited by the Don Kings of BlackTube that will sit up there and let you cry, yell, scream on their panel because it sensationalizes things and they make money off of it. I guess back to the bag. And there we go. All money ain't good money. That's the theme for this week. You might get a few fans out of that, and further divide the crowd up, because that's what it does. It seems like it's like I want people to be on my side, feel sorry for me, so then I got 20 people riding with me over here, and it makes me feel good because they agree with me, and then the other 30, they on the other side of things. But that's when I go up on the panel, the other 30, they gonna pay to get me off the panel. And then the man that's collecting the money, he just getting paid, period. But anyway, y'all don't need me to talk about that. Because you know what? It always sounds, you know what, though? I don't give a F what it sounds like. Because they're going to say, I remember I told you they're going to try to silence you. They're going to tell you, you complain and be the difference. I am being the difference. I'm reporting on it instead of doing it. That's different, right? But see, here's the thing. Meanwhile, y'all forgive me about these comments I'm missing. Outlaw, welcome, sir. Hey, look, meanwhile, the whole world going to hell. Look out your window. Now, literally, go to your window and look out. The world is going to hell. You got these corrupt gangsters in government, man. They just running rampant. They ain't even hiding this shit no more. And see, the problem is you might not care because you on here to get your bags. You can get in your Mercedes and drive off into the sunset. But let me tell you something. You ain't gonna be able to afford no gas. When they break everything down, they up out. You know, that's some stuff y'all could be talking about or we could be talking about. All I know is, yo, that parade had me dying. That squeaky ass wheel on that tank, yo, that shit, I want that as a sound effect. I want that as my ringtone. That was hilarious. Hilarious. But yo, it's a lot of stuff going on, folks. You know, no due process. They trying to suspend, they locking up judges. They trying to do different things. That's a different show we can definitely talk about. But man, it ain't normal out there. You know, and I think y'all, we gotta get away from this BS and really start paying attention and have some discussions like that instead of talking about I got a degree in political science. Nah, I need you to talk about that. Please don't come on here talking about the usual players again and you got a whole damn degree in these things and you could be educating us and teaching us some things. Let us know. Because they out here, you know, Hart Foundation and U.S. senators and shit in the House, you know, in the chambers, and it's crazy, you know. Now, of course, we don't want to beat that to death either because it's just death, murder, kill all day. And a lot of news outlets, so-called news outlets, is just rerunning the stories over and over and over again. You know what I'm saying? And they do that because it's for ratings. Matter of fact, most of the ones that I was following, the people, the content creators with the political, they all use these, and I'm starting to really hate it. They'll just use these overly exaggerated punchlines for their channel. And guess what I do? I don't even click on it because I can't stand that. Don't say Trump just got handed the death blow of his life, you know, in the media. Yo, don't do that because when I click on that, it's not even that. So I tend to avoid that. I don't go on those things, you know. Keep it welcome, the DJ. All right. So anyway, check this out. Oh man, so how do I invite folks just in case? Because this is a quick one. Yeah, this is a quick one. We and don't make a mistake. I'm not coming on here talking to like you know, like sector people, because we got that too where, you know, I don't want to come off like that, like, you know, he's in the sector, but then he's talking about it per se. You know what I mean? Because I'm here with you. See, I think that's where we get off on the wrong foot. I think it's misunderstood. Some of the stuff, what I'm really telling you is, I'm not telling you to stop doing what you're doing. I'm telling you that I tune into all of your shows too. I'm just saying, can you mix it up a little bit? All right, this ain't me. I'm not your daddy. I'm not preaching to you, telling you, oh, you need to stop this and you need to be more mature. No, it's none of that. I'm just telling you, like, yo, can you mix it up? God damn, 5, 6, 7 hours. Yo, it's almost like I could turn your show on, any one of your shows at any stage of the show, and it's the same show. Switch it up. Damn it. Yo, send me an invite. Send me an email. Invite me up there. I put people to sleep on your show. At least it'd be a different person. So, yo, just mix it up a little bit. I understand you got to get the coins. I understand you got to get to that bag. He ain't getting no money. I'm getting money over here. I got 100,000. Whatever. Mix it up. I'm saying, yo, it's seriously, yo, it's really getting stale. Please. I'm not gonna go into the whole personality thing. We all know I could ask questions like, well, what is the end game? How many times is we gonna go up on the panel, cuss each other out, then piece it out, then cuss you right back out again? I mean, come on, man. The game, you start your channel, you say my name, I ain't even paying you no mind, then I'm going to respond to what you said, and then You gonna come up on the panel, cuss me out. We gonna go back and forth. Man, I'm not doing it. Yo, I'm gonna tell you something. I will say this though. If you 50 something years old and you engaging in this kitty ass bullshit by creating fake beefs, by dropping names and effing with people for no reason, you really need to do something with yourself though. You got nothing else to give? Nothing? Just dropping names and shit? And then starting beef so you get to go up there, cuss people out to say, I'm sorry. Start talking in a quiet voice. I'm sorry. Whatever. You know what I mean? But hey, man, do you. Do you? But I ain't falling for the bullshit no more. So you won't see me up on the panel. Once every 3 years, I get up there, cuss somebody out. Shit. I'm not doing that dumb shit no more. I'm not doing that. That don't make no sense at all. Anyway, did I drop a link? Did it work? I don't know. Never seen it work from here. But yeah, check it out, right? So yeah, you go ahead on and do that, man. Being, I understand it's your YouTube career. You on here all day, every day. Oh my God. Yo, I don't know what I would do. It's so much to do. I wish I had more time. Actually, I can't believe I'm on here now talking to you. I did like 5 voiceover auditions and I had to edit everything down. And I really just was pissed off because it took me longer than I wanted to. So I didn't really get to relax. I decided to come here and get in my little boring quota for the week because me and some of the brothers around here decided we wanted to, and sisters decided we want to talk about some different things. Man, a lot of you have been talking about the Vegas shooting thing. Everybody's went on, to talk about that and give their opinions. A shout out to all the hardcore gangster people that was talking about how that's what you get, then followed up with some that's karma and all this and all that. Yo, let me tell y'all something. And this is where we're falling off as a people, as a society. We cannot make that type of behavior normal. Now, I don't know about you, but when I was growing up as a kid, I feel blessed because in grade school, in a million years, I never would imagine somebody coming through the door with a gun and shooting all of us. I grew up in a different world. And now we out here, people think first, welcome. People go to school, kids go to school, they train now how to deal with an active shooter. What the question you need to ask is what is wrong? What went wrong in our society where, one, this is even happening? Like, what did we do? How did we break the system to the point where Kyle asked Katie to the prom and she said no, and he got to go home and get his father's AR-15 and spray up the whole place? Tell me what went wrong? Why are our kids doing this? Oh, well, not my kids. Speak for yourself. No, our kids. You know why I say that? What'd I tell you? You might not have gave birth, or you might not have planted the seed, but if that kid is in your community, that kid will grow up and can become your problem. Remember, you guys say it takes a village, right? So Kyle, he's in his feelings, and so he went out and got the AR. That actually did happen in Maryland, by the way, something similar to that. And he decides to go back and unleash the fury. So that's the new thing now. People are acting out in society. They can't get their way. Some fool was running around in Minnesota, knocking on leadership door. He felt entitled to do that. He felt like this will be acceptable because you have a leader, the highest one in government, who happens to be a conspiracy theorist. Yes. So that means you have people who believe in fantasies and shadows and tricks of light actually running your country. Hey, look, man, and social media, a lot of it, they do it to us through social media. They put facts out. Do you know they have algorithms that, first of all, you already know every time you talk in your phone, they're advertising to you. I know when I talk and Alexa hears me say things, all of a sudden I see the commercial come up on the screen. Now they can market it to you. We really got to detach and put these phones and these devices down a little bit more. Last night, I had this thing where I'm looking at the phone. I watched one of the health channels, and the guy said you shouldn't look at that phone at night because that blue light it disturbs your sleep. And he's right, because you ain't listening to nothing peaceful, 10:30 at night, even though you should have been in the bed with your old ass at 9:30. You're you're looking at that stuff, and it's just to irritate you and agitate you. You ever wonder how, when they say the Russians interfere with our election, how exactly did they do it? Oh, easily, through social media. All of you are staring, including me. I'm not even going to play the game. We're staring at our phones. We're getting on the elevator, staring at the phone, getting off the elevator. Yo, how many of y'all go to work and see dudes at the urinal staring in the phone? Joint in one hand, phone in the other. If you're a man, you've seen that. At work, think about it. Yo, that's how they got us. That's how they can control an election. Propaganda, propaganda, propaganda. Those suggestions get made in your head over and over. You start to believe it. See, I'm telling you how they pulled the trick. Right before the election, it was all of this illegal aliens. They're overrunning cities, eating cats and dogs. It was showing you the videos of them every day in the hotels. And where's all that? Why is it like right after the ballots got counted, all that the media just shifted? You didn't see that no more. Now all of a sudden, it wasn't a problem. They're using it again. They done rolled it out here like some political football. Now they went from we was going to get criminals to they just locking up regular average people. They take woman breastfeeding, they snatched the baby off the breast and yanked her back to Cuba somewhere. They waiting outside the courtroom. See, that's just to hype you up and distract you from all the madness that's going on. These are the discussions that I would like to see on a 5 and 6 hour live. Now, I'm not going to do 6 hours up here. But I'm saying, you can segue to this. But I know what's going to happen. If you do that, you're going to go from 45 in the chat down to 18. Bro, you know what? Good. They can go wash up and feed their kids for a little while you talk about the boring stuff. Okay? Or I can come here and do it. See, I'm not here to talk about the day-to-day happenings in the government. I'm here to talk to you about the mediums and how they use to control you through the mental mind games they play with these devices. See, and we make that behavior normal. So they make violence seem normal to you. Now, when they say somebody walked into a gay club and it exploded, you go right back to eating your Fruity Pebbles like you ain't hear nothing. Now, if that was 1984, oh my God, you'd have been like, I can't believe it. But see, that's what they're doing. They're getting us to just accept this. I don't know why. I don't know the master plan, y'all. I can't tell you why. I believe in facts, but I do know this. Those things start to control. Because I know when you put that cell phone down, right? Matter of fact, when you go to bed, put it across the room. Matter of fact, put it in the next room while you sleep. Watch you start feeling the withdrawals. Because when you look at that little screen, endorphins release in your brain. It's a drug. It changes your body, biochemistry. Don't believe me? Put the thing down. Walk away. Stop checking to see who's live every 10 minutes. Stop tuning in mindlessly. You ain't even paying attention to what they saying to the same panel. You just got it playing in the background while you ironing your clothes, watching your soap opera. I'm telling you, they got us as a drug. It's a drug. So these people, man, we make this behavior normal. The guy went up. Some people got killed. I heard folks say they got what they was coming. They got what they deserve. That's what they get out here, playing these games. They up there and people, and they got what they deserve. Really? So here's my question. Did their children get what they deserve too? Is that some more of that karmatic debt y'all like to talk about? Like you have some understanding of how karma actually works? Yo, the math of it is unimaginable. But yo, what about the kids? Where's your compassion for them? Is it F the kids, like a lot of people around here like to say? F the kids? Their parents shouldn't have been doing this. They shouldn't have been. Not a dude shouldn't have brandished an illegal weapon and go snuff out the lives of two people because he can't deal with his emotions. Or some of you will say he was mentally unstable. I don't know. Did you have the reports or the diagnosis of that? Because I never saw it. But see, that's what I'm saying. When did we break society? Now, see, me, I'm thinking like he would have rolled up and swung on the man. Like, here's the fair one. If you that much in your feelings, but then you got to ask yourself a question. What the hell going to make you get up out your lazy boy recliner, put your beer down, go get your car keys, put your slides on, and go ride across town? to go see somebody because of something they said. See, that's us though. But see, the thing is, we're a microcosm of what that was, but we do it here. We come on here and say the most heinous, ignorant ass shit we can say to each other to try to provoke a response, burn somebody's soul, tear them down, crush them. Would you make those songs though? You made those songs. My song is 3 minutes long. It's to roast you to make you laugh at yourself. I truly don't mean any harm. If it hurts you or it caused you harm, like some people have let me know, then I can delete it or take it down. That's simple. I was told to be the example. I'm trying to do that. I'm gonna roast you for 3 minutes in a tune, and I hope it makes you laugh at yourself. That's the purpose of it. It's not designed to hurt your feelings. It's not designed to crush your soul. It's not designed to make you feel less than a human being. That's not the point of it. Again, there's a difference between humor. But some of the things you folks say, you do, as Mikey say, you do the most. You doing the most. You gotta put a jacket on me that I'm not wearing. I gotta be homosexual. I gotta be a pedolite. I gotta be an abusive husband. I gotta be you can name anything negative that y'all say about each other. The biggest thing I've heard lately was this. According to the census, all of us here are bad parents. We don't take care of our kids. We don't house our kids. We neglect our kids. We do all of these things. Our kids don't like us. They don't love us. Let me tell you about that before we get back to the Vegas thing. And I'm not going to stay on that long. Let me tell you something about your parenting. We all suck at parenting. Now, I can sit here now and talk all this big and bad shit about, oh, my kid's doing this, man. Let me tell you something. How fair would that be if I didn't tell you about all the mistakes they made too and how I contributed to that in their upbringing? How would it be fair if I don't tell you that? Let me tell you something. We all suck at being parents. You know why? Because we were 20-year-olds. We didn't know a goddamn thing about raising kids. And if you think you did, what experience at 20 did you have in raising children? Let me tell you, you was a child 5 minutes before that, and you think because you was a child, you have the experience of being a child, so therefore raising one just comes naturally. No, it does not. It doesn't. And your parents was messed up too. They was 20-year-olds too. It's a cycle. You ain't gonna get it right. You maybe on the third child, you might have figured it out. Now that you're 30-something, maybe. So we all make mistakes, but that's the go-to around here. You made a mistake, your child is your child. Let me tell you something. If you grew up in a pristine household where it was like Leave It to Beaver and Walt Disney World and Brady Bunch and ain't nothing never go wrong in your house, then, excuse me, you ain't gonna have no life experience. Man, and trust me, I don't wish abuse on any child. But I ain't gonna lie, some of the effed up stuff our parents did, it made me a better parent. I tell my mama, I say, I say, you did A, B, and C. I said, you was the best mother in the world, though. But you did A, B, and C, and that shit, I say, you know what, I learned from that. That made me a better parent. And she just looked at me like, oh, good. Exactly. The good news is it wasn't so bad to the point where it was abuse, where it traumatized me. Now, that might have some negative effects. Some things we can't, life is life, and sometimes your kids may have been traumatized. Sometimes you had the abusive girlfriend or boyfriend, and man, Lord help you if things were wrong, but man, y'all got to give each other a pass on the parenting thing. Come on, what was we doing? We ain't know nothing. We was just trying to get a job or trying to get money or trying to be fast in the street, dating, hustling, slanging, or dating a hustler, whatever we was doing, crime, talking about we getting out just due from the white man, whatever it is, whatever your mindset was, you made mistakes. And guess what? Them kids is grown now. Ain't no point you beating yourself up about it. Ain't no point you beating up other people about it. And if you ain't got no kids, please sit your ass down somewhere. You ain't got no right to criticize nobody. If you ain't in your kid's life, sir, then you really can't get in this discussion. You damn sure can't point at a woman and talk about what she did wrong. And vice versa, lady, if you ain't got no kids, please. A degree in child psychology don't make you a professional. parent. So give each other a pass, because I notice that seems to be the common theme around here. We always talk about who kid went left and why that makes us a bad person. Shit, what I tell y'all the law on that one? Now, your child is gonna make mistakes in their life. So what's the flip side of that, y'all? Damn it, I'm a deacon in the church. I raised my kid right. They had all the latest gear. They ate well. I took care of him. But then he decided he wanted to sell drugs. How does that my fault? You know, and on the flip side of it is, you might have been a deadbeat crack addict and your daughter got a PhD. That's also not your trophy. See, we can't you can't just assign the bad to the parents is what I'm trying to say, y'all. And you can't give them all the good either. You know, they did the best they could with what they had. That's the bottom line. Now, the thing is with us, I think, around here is that we like to point at each other and say, look at you, you're a bad parent. And then we come to find out we made mistakes. I'm telling you, all of y'all, including myself, we all made mistakes. And some stuff, it came out in the kids, and sometimes the kids learn from it. See, the thing is, they can benefit from your mistakes as much as it was a detriment to them as well. You don't know the effects till you wait to see. Here's my question. How's your child doing now? Are your child okay? They living a stable life? They got a little family started? They doing better than you, right? Right? All right then. See? Some of that effed up shit you did made them not want. They was like, God damn it, I don't want my kids eating top ramen every goddamn night. So guess what? They strive to do better than you did. Good. And hopefully that means your grandkids will do better than them. So the cycle didn't continue. Hallelujah. Amen. But yeah, y'all, we all got issues. Shit, if you sitting your ass on an 8-hour live, you neglecting the shit out your kid. Them kids beating on the door, hungry as hell. Kids ain't supposed to be eating no damn cereal for dinner. Get your black ass off the live and shut it down. You come back later. Go feed them damn kids and take them to the store or something. Or at least order them something. Order them some Dominoes or something. Sitting on here talking to a bunch of damn strangers. Anyway, I don't know if you know what though? I don't even know if the link works on this thing. Okay, let me go to some comments, y'all. I'm sorry, I'm just babbling. I did say that. Bootlegs, B-sides, whatever. Josephine, let me see. Send me the money, I'll spend it. I mean, hold it. Who buying Bitcoin? So, yeah, hey. Oh, T-Pre still here, I hear you. Twin here. All right. Yeah, man, so it just be thoughts on my mind. I did it a week ago, 24 hours, no electronics. It was interesting. Girl, I wish, you know what though? I'm overdue for a spiritual retreat. I haven't been on one since the pandemic. And I'm sitting here now, I know I'm gonna die, without my screens. But hey, that's what you gotta do. Who would have thought somebody would create a video advertisement for murder they were about to commit, then claim self-defense? Yeah, that was crazy. That's self-defense. So you went all the way across town to defend yourself. We will be getting indicted like a mother on Bombay shows. We got to do something about this we person. You know what? I got to go watch this back to see what I was saying at that moment. Every decent parent wants their children to be better than them. Oh, Jerem on the board. Welcome. Welcome to the show, sir. So, yeah, man, you got to give yourself a pass. Hopefully you learn from it, But see, that's the thing, y'all. Why are we attacking each other in the first place? Because you said something that hurt my feelings, and I got to say something to hurt your feelings. Now, I don't expect no kumbaya. Because, see, it's hard. I guess it's hard to forgive somebody you don't know. Because, see, speaking of forgiveness, I do hear a lot of the victims always talking about what somebody did. Oh, but they said this to me. And they try to make it like it's so heinous that I couldn't possibly overlook it. You do realize forgiveness is the other side of that equation. Why you say, well, you did something to me. Okay, if I apologize, then you got to be forgiven. See, the problem is that y'all ain't got no forgiveness. You just want somebody to grovel and beg at your feet and be wrong so you can be right. Man, nobody got time for that. See, the thing is, what else do you got? if you ain't the victim or you ain't victimizing somebody? What else you got to come on here with? You know, old war stories about the back in the glorious, wonderful days of your past. So yeah, you know, you made mistakes. And now you're here. See, the thing is, y'all, every time a year go by, you get a year older. Now look at you, 50. Ooh, half a century. Some of us, 60, on the way. See, now we becoming the elders now. And when you look at see what the elders doing, you turn this thing on, all the yelling and the screaming and shit, you know, grown ass men. I like to pick on the men because these women, I can't really, I feel like I ain't really gonna talk to the women. I'll let another woman do that. But the man, you on here with this yelling and screaming in the microphone and shit, bro. And if you tell me it's just trolling, I'm gonna look at you in your face and go, why is your ass 59 years old and you a troll at that age? So basically, you on here playing kitty ass games on the internet at that age. Man, no, you should be somewhere right now. You got an 11-year-old grandchild who needs some wisdom and guidance. That's where you should be at. And don't get me wrong. And then you come on here and cut up and cut the monkey fool. You come on here and laugh, clown, you know, joke, roast. You come on here, you gotta laugh. That's the flip side of the coin. You ain't gotta be no elder walking around here with a long ass white robe and a beard down to your navel, holding a big ass staff, looking like Moses and shit. That ain't what I mean. I'm just saying, like playing the kiddie games with young ass people and the kids on here. You know, question, seriously though, unless you that dude to be out there with the bottle of wine standing on the corner with the 30-year-olds while they slinging, unless you is that dude, you out there with them, so then why is you on here with them? All up in the middle of they shit and they business. You know what I mean? But then when we say, and I've done this in the past to a couple people, when I say let's get together, some of us boring brothers are doing it. When I say let's get together and talk about some man shit, oh nah, you can't do that. I done got turned down, y'all. I got turned down, but they can do the bullshit, though. Grown-ass men. They want to do the bullshit. They don't want to sit there. I say, yo, let's have a man conversation. Let's, like, you know how we would. We was just drinking some beer, hanging out at the bar. We just talking. You know, like, man, let's have that conversation. So since I can't have it, some of the brothers did say they would come through. Unfortunately, I keep spontaneously popping up on lives instead of setting up the dates because I'm ignorant like that instead of just doing it. But yeah, man. Anyway, ain't nothing wrong with laughing. I love to laugh. Y'all see me. Shit, I be doing my little parodies and shit. And I be laughing. And I think it's funny to me. And you know what though? If I'm not traveling, I find that I have extra time on Fridays because I don't do no voiceover on Friday. I usually hold the auditions back to like Sunday night. So lately I've been home, so I've been coming up with this little time slots. That's why I'm able to do the content and do the uploads. I hope you found it funny and I hope you laughed. Man, damn, that bird song got over 300 goddamn views. I meant to ask y'all, who's playing it that much? Y'all really, y'all really running that thing like that? You know what's funny though? I noticed if I make it about a person, y'all eat that shit up. But if I make it generic where I say sector ninjas and I just talk in general, that one will get like a little bit of people go, oh, that was cool. Or, I didn't get it. But when it's about an individual, y'all be eating it up. Let me tell you something. Sometimes it's about the people you cool with. And like I said, y'all, it ain't nothing personal. It was a Darrell parody on there. He laughed because he knew I wasn't roasting for real. It was just funny. I decided, I said, now what I'm going to do? I came on early in my career here and just start going at people with songs. I said, nah, I don't want to do that. Because that's more like on the negative. I said, I'm going to take something somebody do and I'm going to blow it, over-exaggerate it and blow it out of proportion and make it to a parody. Yo, the Darrell one was, the pump fake Darrell, that shit, yo, I was laughing trying to, writing that. It was funny to me. You know what I mean? And Darrell gone again. You know, so he's gone again. So hopefully when he comes back, we can do a part 2. But anyway, to me, that's what it's about. It's about laughing, taking the things we do, over-exaggerated. To me, that's the definition of roasting. Roasting is good fun. You take in a person's characteristics, over-exaggerate it, and you say it to the person, and you make people laugh. They not taking it personal, and they do the same thing to you, and it's no harm, no foul. That's how it's supposed to be. Round here, though, people trying to like shatter your souls and shit when they coming at you. So I feel like, to me, that's more, the sector is like grown really dark lately. That's a dark place. So I said, nah, I'm going to still take the talent. I'm going to still do what I got to do. And I'm going to poke at my peoples on here. And hopefully, we can laugh at it. That's my little contribution. Because I'm not really good at just talking on this mic. I'm here. I'm coming up on the hour. I done dropped the link. Y'all, it ain't easy as it sound. Now, if I come on here and do these voices and ask questions and start doing the character and go into this mode and pause a lot and throw up some graphics and then bring up the same 5 people, let them talk for 3 hours and bicker and beef and keep jumping up on the panel, jumping off the panel, jumping on the panel, jumping off the panel. I can do that shit all day. But boy, it ain't easy when you by yourself and you got to go from point to point to point to point to point and make it thought-provoking and go in depth and point counterpoint. It's not easy as it looks. Now, see, if I was on here emotional because somebody hurt my feelings and I ran back to my channel to jump on the mic and talk to my imaginary friends and go on a emotional, unhinged ass rant, I could do that too. But the thing is, I'm not easily offended. So I'm not going to do. Not going to do that. I can't talk to y'all like I know you. I can only say some stuff was on my mind. I got a couple of bullet points in the palm of my hand and just let it rip. I guess part of me too, I be trying not to offend too, because I don't want to sound like, but I realize how can you have any commentary without sounding like you're going to offend somebody or they're going to perceive it as judgment, but you can't worry about that. Like I said, day one, an hour ago, I offer no apology for who I am, because I looked around, I say, show me somebody that ain't doing the same bullshit they accuse me of doing. You know what I'm saying? Slander. Oh, no lies detected. See, and I'm gonna tell you something. I appreciate Slander, because he always give me props and say, yeah, I understand what Yo's doing. Like he don't take it like offensive, like me, like I'm up on some pedestal. He takes it like, yo, that's real talk. He's just giving you the real how he see it. He always says like the uncle at the cookout thing, and to him that's how he see it, and he gets it. This ain't, again, I'm not on here to tell nobody stop doing your show. Stop doing. I come to you like a fan and I say, can I see a little bit more of you? Like, I appreciate what you're doing with the troll character, but can you, like, every once in a while, can you like take off the troll mask and just let us see you for a minute? Tell us how you really feel about some real things for about 10 minutes, and then go ahead, put the troll mask back on, get back, start tap dancing and stuff, and get your routine going. You know what I mean? Y'all gonna stop playing that bird song though, and get your routine going. That's a damn shame though. I didn't like come on here and try to build watch hours and stuff and try to monetize. You can't monetize with all them parodies on it. That stuff is copywritten. You can't. And my silly ass, it's funny, I did a lot of songs in reverse. I did the acapellas first and then took the beats and put them to the song. I don't know what I be thinking. Sometimes I just want to scratch out an idea and then I say, man, this would sound better with music, but I done already recorded it. But anyway, the real reason, another reason I do the uploads is because it's helping me sharpen my skills. Like the last, I think probably 30 things I did, I've been practicing on mixing and mastering and trying to get better at it and understanding these sounds. Because I always know how to produce and compose. I just, on the processing end, I was never good at it. So that's a number of reasons why I be doing it. And also to make y'all laugh. And let me tell y'all something, y'all. Since y'all know I'm not seriously coming at people, you ain't got to be afraid to comment on it. I know you played it 10 times. You can comment on it. The person that's the subject matter, I know you cool with them. They not going to get mad if they see you here, if they see you. Because y'all do that like, I can't go in that chat room because she ain't cool with him, and I don't want her to see me over there participating. I was at the funeral the other day, and I don't have no beef with the person in the casket at all. But, I came in, paid my respect, and kept it moving. It was cool. And Money to Burn came through. Ain't seen her in a long time. It was good seeing her on there because I don't know her personally, and I don't know if y'all all talk behind the scenes, but it was good seeing the sister come back through. Let us know she's still here and what's going on. And so it served its purpose. But at some point, hopefully we can all get back to doing some content, man. And you know, because like I said, it did kind of get dark. It's dark, a little dark around here, you know. And unfortunately, y'all know why that's happening. That's because you got people that don't have any contributions, and that's all they can do is the evil, you know. And usually you could tell the mark of the person because they usually throw their money around. And when they throw their money around, they want something in exchange. They want you to do the bidding. They want you to do the work. And then they say, I'm a real good guy. I'm generous. I'm giving y'all money. But at the end of the day, it's like they're going after people, you know. And usually these individuals usually end up getting exposed. And then when they do, we find out, damn, your criminal records and your work records and everything is in the toilet too with everybody else's. So then what was all the money for? What was that? Well, you had to feel like you had some control. You had to feel like, I understand on here, the alter ego, you feel like you're a big person because you know, when people see you drop money, they tend to worship that. They look at it like a mark of success. I'll see people come over here sound like complete scammers. Not gonna mention no names. Complete scammers and bullshit artists, and I see people sitting there glued. But when I say something like savings account 3 to 6 months, when I say little practical shit that I know you could use, it's like they're not gonna replay that. They don't want to hear. They want to hear a get rich quick scheme because black folk like to get it in 5 minutes. Yo, you can't get it in 5 minutes all the time. Everything ain't a hustle. Everything ain't a quick flip. You know, if it's so easy, everybody would be doing it. Word, that's true. But anyway, man, so she was in Shaq's shoebox, and y'all ladies was relentless on that thing. That didn't make no sense. I felt so embarrassed. I had to leave. Boy, when them sisters get together, you better watch. You better hope you ain't on the docket. With all the talent here, this space should be as popular as the beef. You know what though? That's a good. Do I get a platinum plaque for the remix of "Drop the Link"? Hell yeah, that's your song. I told everybody that. I said he wrote that song, and that was probably one of the most popular songs, cross sector song. Yeah, but yeah, it is a lot of talent here. But you know what though? We don't reward talent. We don't. We go for the same easy, low-hanging fruit of the same people with the same beat. I don't understand. Yo, seriously though, and some people will say it's a hate position. I don't know why that makes so much money. Yo, do you really hate somebody that much that you'll pay hundreds of dollars for somebody to hate them for you verbally? Like, really? Damn. Yo, you know you could save $100. You can just go yell in your pillow at the person. Because either way, they don't know it's you. It's anonymous. They can't hear you. But I guess if that's what folks want. Now, here's the question. We've been asking questions all night. How is it that the beef sector can do the back and forths, they can do the G-checking and all that and the roasting shit, but yet they still manage to give you a ton of other commentary? How are they doing it? Well, one, I would say their numbers. They got a lot more people, which means the inverse of it is on this side, you don't have a lot of people. So the same people beefing over and over. What new targets are you going to use? How many times you going to go to your channel and just drop some random name to start a beef and it's only 13 of us here? You know what I'm saying? So that's why that model doesn't work. Over there, you'll see them 1 minute they going at each other for 3 nights in a row, and then what? Talent show. Boom. Then they create a conspiracy about the talent show. Oh, the judges was fixed. It was this, it was that. So they generate more content. Then somebody new comes into their area. Some of us have gone over there and kind of made a home instead of building this here. Well, I don't know. I don't really want to say it like you can't go over there, definitely by all means, but I mean, you know, but that's what happens though. After you done beat up on the same 6 people, I guess you got to go somewhere else to be relevant. It don't have to be like that, y'all. We can, we can have normal conversations sometimes, just like this one. See, no same players on the panel. No same narrative, no same none of that. and no conspiracy. But anyway, y'all, I think I done, what time? Ooh, 9:31, Jesus. Yeah, it's been an hour. I must have got started closer to 8:30. You say how long I'm gonna be up here? Not for too much longer. I had dropped the link. Nobody came through. So you know how it is, man, on these boring shows. People don't hit links. I saw you last night and you dropped yours, and unfortunately I was like eating on the cell phone. I don't like tapping in on the cell phone because then you got to go to the internet. Then you got to close YouTube. It gets a little tricky. But if I was in the basement, I would have jumped on, to support. But yeah, I understand sometimes you just have things to do and sometimes you want to listen. This one probably won't even get a thumbnail for a while because I didn't plan it. But seriously though, I am going to try to start planning them in advance. Excuse me. Hiccup yawn. Having said what I need to say because I'm lacking oxygen. I'm inside of the studio and it's not a lot of circulation in here. Oh man, somebody said, oh yeah, the cooking competition. Yo. Now that's something. I think some of it may be skits or pre-planned beefs in the sector. Yeah, that's another thing too. And I see some folks over here trying to mimic that. They call them plays, where they just they'll fabricate a narrative, but everybody's in on it. Now, see, I done seen over here a couple times. My name got thrown in stuff because, and I didn't know I was goofy. I didn't know not to respond. They'll say your name and put something to it, and then they'll get everybody riled up. And the more if you create a narrative behind one person, and if they got a lot of people that don't like them, it becomes more lucrative because then you're roasting their ops, which means people are going to pay you more. I can't do it, man. I can't give you a dime for that. I just can't. I don't hate somebody that much where it's worth spending money. I can't think of nobody on this earth that I hate so much that I just need to see their downfall and it's worth hard-earned money. You do what you do. Everybody spit it the way you want. For real. There's another one. I think that's my cue, y'all. Well, I'm new at this particular platform. I got to figure out how to shut things down. So I think what I need to do is I go to my layers and I say something like, thank you all for coming through. I really appreciate your time listening to little old me. It's been an hour. Got to get up, go to work. We got Juneteenth this week, which means I get to lose a day of production. Not fun. That means I got to work twice as hard. But that's okay. I love to do it. And thank you for listening. And thank you for anyone that, that's tuning in the clouds that don't like me, but you're going to go back and comment on what I said or replay this entire thing. I don't know. But while you're doing that, come up with your own content and ideas and surprise us all. So I leave you with the usual words, the boring words of peace and tranquility. Namaste.